You know the feeling. It usually hits you at 3 a.m. when the distractions of the day fade away and the world goes quiet. You stare at the ceiling and suddenly, a cold, heavy realization presses down on your chest. One day, you will not be here. One day, your eyes will close for the last time. Your name will be spoken for the last time. Your memories, your struggles, your entire life story will vanish like mist in the morning sun. It is the oldest fear in human history. It is the shadow that follows every step we take. We build careers, we gather wealth, we distract ourselves with screens and noise, all to avoid looking at this one terrifying truth. But 2,500 years ago, in a quiet grove in northern India, a young monk decided he could not run anymore. Trembling, he approached the one man who claimed to have seen beyond the veil. He dared to ask the forbidden question. The answer he received didn't just comfort him, it shattered his entire reality, and it might just shatter yours. The young monk's name was Ananda. He was young, but his eyes were old with sorrow. He had spent the last week in the village below, tending to the sick and the dying. He had seen things that no amount of meditation could erase. He walked into the circle where the Buddha sat. The silence in the grove was absolute. The other disciples sensed the tension. They stopped their breathing. They knew Ananda was about to break protocol. "Master," Ananda's voice cracked. It wasn't a question, it was a plea. "Master, what happens after death?" The Buddha did not open his eyes. He sat as still as a mountain. Ananda took a step closer, his desperation rising. "I have watched them die, Master. I have held their hands as the warmth left their skin. I have seen the light vanish from their eyes. I have seen the body turn into a cold, empty shell. I need to know, where do they go? Does something remain? Or does everything just end? Is all of this meaningless?" The silence stretched. A bird called out in the distance, emphasizing the quiet. The Buddha slowly opened his eyes. They held no surprise, no judgment, only a depth so vast it felt like looking into the night sky. "Ananda," the Buddha said, his voice deep and resonant. "You ask a question that comes from innocence. You ask, what happens when the flame goes out?" The Buddha paused, looking directly at the young monk. "But you have not yet asked the most dangerous question of all. You have not asked, what is the flame? You assume you know what died. That is your first mistake." The Buddha gestured for Ananda to sit. "Tell me, Ananda, when you watched those villagers die, what exactly did you see? Describe it to me." "I saw stopping," Ananda stammered. "I saw the breath stop. I saw the heart stop beating. I saw the movement end." "You saw the body stop," the Buddha corrected gently. "But did you see the person?" Ananda frowned. I don't understand." "Did you see the self that lived inside that body? Did you see the I that loved, that feared, that hoped? Or did you only see the vessel they occupied?" "I saw only the vessel, Master," Ananda admitted. "Then why," the Buddha asked, leaning forward, "why do you assume the person was inside the vessel to begin with?" This question hung in the air like a lightning bolt. "Listen closely," the Buddha continued. "You suffer because you believe a lie. You believe that you are a body that has a consciousness. You think you are a meat sack that somehow woke up. But the truth is the exact opposite. You are consciousness that has temporarily taken the shape of a body." The monk shook his head. "But Master, this body is all I know. My face, my hands, my voice. If this is not me, then what am I?" "Imagine you are wearing a thick, heavy coat," the Buddha said. "You wear it for 70 years. You sleep in it. You eat in it. You walk in it. Eventually, you forget you are wearing it. You think you are the coat. Then, one day, The coat becomes tattered, the threads unravel, it falls apart, and you are terrified. You scream, "I am dying! I am disappearing!" But are you dying, or are you simply naked? Ananda looked down at his own hands. The metaphor made sense, but the fear was still there. "But Master," he whispered, "even if I am not the body, I am my mind. I am my memories. I am Ananda. I have a past. I have a story. When I die, surely that story disappears. And if my story disappears, don't I disappear?" The Buddha smiled, a faint, compassionate smile. "Now we are getting to the root of the thorn. You do not fear death, Ananda. You fear the loss of your identity. You fear losing the character you have played for so long. You have spent a lifetime building this castle of me, my name, my reputation, my achievements, my failures. You cling to these things like a drowning man clings to a rock. But let me ask you, where was this story before you were born?" Ananda remained silent. "Where is this story when you are in deep sleep?" the Buddha pressed. "When you dreamless sleep, you have no name, you have no sorrow, you have no fear, you have no story, and yet, do you cease to exist?" "No," Ananda whispered. "I am still there. I don't know it." "You are there," the Buddha nodded. "The witness is there. The awareness that sleeps is the same awareness that wakes. The story comes and goes. The character of Ananda walks onto the stage, says his lines, cries his tears, and walks off. But the screen on which the movie plays, does the screen burn when the movie shows a fire? Does the screen get wet when the movie shows a flood? No, Master. You are the screen, Ananda. You are not the movie." Ananda felt a weight lifting from his shoulders, but his mind, the sharp analytical mind, found another problem. "Master," he said, brow furrowed, "if I am the screen, if I am pure awareness, then why am I here? Why did I take this form? Why are we born into this world of suffering if we are truly eternal?" The atmosphere shifted. The Buddha's expression became serious. "Because of momentum," he said. "Momentum?" "Desire creates a force," the Buddha explained. "Hunger creates a current. As long as you believe I am incomplete, I need this, I hate that, you generate energy. You create a magnetic pull. Think of a spinning wheel. Even if you stop pushing it, it keeps spinning for a while because of the energy you already put into it. Your life is that wheel. You have spent lifetimes pushing it with your cravings, your fears, and your attachments. When the body dies, that momentum does not just vanish. Physics dictates that energy cannot be destroyed. That hunger, that specific frequency of wanting, it seeks a new form. It grabs a new vessel. It manifests a new body to continue the chase." Ananda's eyes widened. "So, reincarnation is not a reward?" "Reincarnation is not a journey of a soul flying from one room to another," the Buddha corrected. "It is the continuation of a habit. It is the echo of confusion. You are born again because you wanted to be. You are here because you have not yet realized you are already full. You are still chasing shadows, thinking they will make you whole." "Then how does it end?" Ananda asked, his voice trembling again. "How do I stop the wheel? I am tired, Master. I am tired of the fear." The Buddha reached out and pointed to a small oil lamp flickering beside him. The flame danced in the gentle breeze, casting long shadows against the temple walls. "Watch the flame, Ananda." They watched in silence for a long time. Then, the Buddha leaned forward and blew. Whoosh! The flame vanished. A thin trail of gray smoke rose up and disappeared into the night air. "Where did it go?" the Buddha asked softly. Where did the flame go, Ananda? Did it go north? Did it go south?
Did it go into the sky?
No, Master, Ananda said. It didn't go anywhere. The conditions for its existence, the fuel, the wick, the heat, ceased to be together. So the flame simply stopped appearing. Did the flame die? The Buddha asked. No, that's not the right word. It just returned to the unmanifest. Exactly, the Buddha whispered. Nirvana is not a place you go to. It is the blowing out of the candle. It is the cooling of the fever. When you finally see that you are not the wick, you are not the wax, and you are not the fire, you stop clinging. And when you stop clinging, the momentum fades. The wheel slows down, and eventually it stops. Tears streamed down Ananda's face, but they were not tears of grief anymore. They were tears of relief. The kind of relief you feel when you wake up from a nightmare and realize you are safe in your own bed. He looked at his hands again. They looked different now. They were no longer his hands. They were just temporary instruments, leaves floating on a river. He looked at the Buddha. He didn't see a man anymore. He saw a mirror. So death, Ananda whispered, is just taking off a tight shoe? The Buddha laughed, a rare deep sound that seemed to make the leaves on the trees vibrate. Yes, death is the greatest illusion of all. It is the horizon. It looks like the end of the ocean, but it is only the limit of your vision. The ocean continues. You continue, not as Ananda, not as a man, but as the vastness itself. So how should I live now? Ananda asked. Knowing this, how do I live in the world? Live as a tourist, the Buddha replied. Enjoy the hotel. Enjoy the view. Drink the wine. Admire the mountains. But do not claim the room as yours. Do not sign a lease. Do not get attached to the furniture. Know that you are passing through. When you live with the knowledge that you are a tourist, you can love without clinging. You can work without stress. You can experience joy without the fear of losing it. Because you know that even when the trip ends, you do not end. You simply go home. The monk's fear vanished that day. But what about yours? We live in a world that sells us immortality, through legacy, through internet fame, through plastic surgery. We are terrified of the flame going out. But maybe, just maybe, the flame is trapping us. Ask yourself tonight, when you lay in bed, who is listening to my thoughts? Don't answer with your name. Don't answer with your job title. Go deeper. Find the witness. If you can find that silent observer, you will find the only thing in this universe that cannot die. If this story shifted something in you, even a little, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. We are building a community of seekers here, trying to wake up from the dream together. And let me know in the comments below, what is one identity or label you are holding on to that is causing you pain? Let's talk about it. I'll see you in the next moment.